Welcome back to the 2-Minute Warning, episode 485, back on the topic of the NFL again. Jay and I today are going to be giving you a prediction for Los Angeles Chargers' record in the 2021 season, going through their schedule and looking at which games we think they'll win, which ones they'll lose. But before we get into that video, question of the day, and we just want to hear from you in the comments below what you think the Chargers' record will be, because again, that's what we're talking about today. And at the end of the video, obviously, we'll reach our conclusion of how many games we think the Chargers will win. But Jay, obviously right now, the schedule, the dates aren't quite set, but the first game I've got on here is the Baltimore Ravens. Chargers take that or no?
Baltimore Ravens, that is probably the most variable-like team. They're very electric. Lamar Jackson is one of the most dangerous quarterbacks. And it's not so much I think the Chargers will beat the Ravens or lose to the Ravens. I'm kind of looking at it as the whole of the division, of how I think they will compete against that entire AFC North. And I kind of just see them going around a 2-2 record in that North. But I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to say they pull one off against Lamar Jackson. I'm going to take Justin Herbert's pocket passing over Lamar's run game. And I think the Chargers' defense is going to be developed more and they can shut down Lamar.
Yeah, I think the Chargers, they got the better passing attack. Obviously, like Jay said, this Ravens team is kind of hard to predict what they're going to do. But the one thing that is pretty predictable is that the fact that they will not throw the ball, or Lamar will not throw the ball that well. I think the Chargers, with their defense, hopefully healthy Derwin James back, their defense should be pretty good. Healthy Bosa, or Joey Bosa wasn't hurt last year. That was Nick Bosa.
He's banged up a little bit.
So anyway, I think the Chargers defense can shut down Lamar enough for their passing attack offense to really come out on top. So I got the Chargers winning against the Baltimore Ravens. Next game I got on here, Cincinnati Bengals taking the Chargers.
Yeah, I got to Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow. Can't go wrong there, whoever you like better, but just all-around talent. Brandon Staley hasn't even coached yet, and I already like him better than the Bengals head coach and Zach Taylor. And just overall, Bengals had a couple guys on free agents that they could have kept, such as William Jackson or Geno Atkins, and they didn't even keep those. Those were their stud players. They didn't get anything really in free agency, while the Chargers, I feel like they executed it just all around. They're a better team, even outside of quarterback.
Yeah, I think this is a game that I really want to see Joe Burrow play well. I think, obviously, same draft class, him and Herbert. They're kind of competing for who's the best player or the best quarterback out of that draft class. I think I want to see Herbert play well, Burrow play well, but I definitely think the Chargers will take this game and go 2-0.
Sounds good.
Next game I got on here, Denver Broncos. I haven't really been saying the locations. It looks like they're playing Baltimore in Baltimore, Cincinnati in Cincinnati, and now they got the Broncos in Denver.
I like what the Broncos do have. I think their receiving core solid. Courtland Sutherland, Jared Jeudy, Noah Fant. Defense in the secondary is stacked. Pass rush is good with Bradley Chubb and Von Miller. Really, this might change, but as of right now, I just don't trust Drew Lock. Today, I have to go with the Chargers, but if they make a good move in the NFL draft and Trey Lance turns out to be the stud guy and have the huge upside that we thought he could have, I might have to go with the Broncos then. But as of right now, how the teams are today, I'm going with the Chargers against the Broncos.
Agreed there. Again, the team right now, the Broncos defense, I think, can give the Chargers offense a little bit of issues. Like Jay mentioned, Von Miller, of course, Ronald Darby, Kyle Fuller. The list goes on with defensive secondary and obviously pass rushers. The Broncos are pretty good, but I think the Chargers are definitely the better team. But all that changes if, for example, Deshaun Watson goes to Denver, then that team becomes instantly that much better. So I think the Chargers take this game and go 3-0.
Sounds good.
Next game I got Houston Texans at the Houston Texans.
I see the Texans free-falling. I don't see Deshaun Watson playing there and Tyrod Taylor starting. Yeah, he knows the Chargers, whatever. You could give as much benefit of the doubt you can to the Texans. If Deshaun is not playing football for them, which I don't think he will be, I think it's almost a bye week. I'm giving the Chargers a win there.
Now, this is where the Chargers get their first loss. I wish. No, Texans are not going to be good. I didn't even think about the Tyrod Taylor factor of it, but no, 100%. I should say 100%. The Texans, if I'm going to predict anything, will play somehow close, but then manage to lose. That's how they do against good teams. So definitely Chargers going 4-0 after a win over the Houston Texans. Kansas City Chiefs, obviously the best team they played at this point in Kansas City. Who you got?
I got to go in Kansas City. I got to go with the Chiefs. The Chargers, as much as I like them to take a game from the Chiefs this year, today they are not ready. I think they will be by the end of free agency and by the end of the draft when they get just one more piece to the protection of Justin Herbert and adding one more key piece in the secondary or in the pass rush. I think they will get there and be able to steal a game at home later on when he brings that up. But right now, I don't see the Chargers going to Kansas City and winning.
Yeah, in Kansas City, I think this will be a shootout, but the Chargers will simply not be able to keep up with that Kansas City offense. I think they lose a 40-35 type of game, 45-41, whatever. Lose in a shootout, lose their first game of the year, and right now they're sitting at 4-1 in both of our books. Next game, you got Denver at home at SoFi.
I'm going to go with Chargers again. Same exact scenario. I like Denver, and I wouldn't be surprised if they steal a game, but just looking at it today, and that's really what I'm judging everything off of, I got to go with the Chargers.
Yeah, same here. Like I said, that Denver defense should be able to keep that Chargers offense a little bit unsteady, but not again. I think, again, Chargers should be much better than this Denver team and should beat them. Should sweep them this year. Next, again, already playing the Chiefs again, but this time at SoFi.
I'm gonna take faith in Justin Herbert. I mean, even this past year, they split it with them. It was 1-1. Granted, the Chiefs didn't have their starters in the second game, but even the first game, Justin Herbert didn't even know he was playing the game till kickoff, and he still put up a hell of a fight and should have really won that football game. So I think a healthy Derwin James, who was a Kelsey stopper at home, Justin Herbert's in his sophomore year and gave him trouble in his rookie year. I think they take a game at home.
Yeah, I have confidence in the fact that the Chargers just won't get swept. I do think the Chiefs have a better offense. I think the Chargers and Chiefs defense is relatively even, but I think the Chargers managed to avoid the sweep and they take this game at home against the Kansas City Chiefs.
Sounds good.
What do you have now? Is that 6-1? Keeping track. Yeah, I got 6-1. Yeah. 6-1 now, going into a game against the Las Vegas Raiders at home. Jay, who you taking?
Going with the Chargers. Raiders, their offensive line fell apart, and against a healthy Joey Bosa, that's not going to look good. Against a healthy Derwin James with Derek Carr under pressure, that's got an interception bound to happen. I like the Chargers all around. I think the Raiders will be better, and I still think they'll probably be around a 500 team. But as of right now, I just like the Chargers all around. You guys know I'm bullish on them.
I think with the healthy Derek Carr, I think the Raiders win this game. Last year we saw the Raiders and Chargers go to overtime with Mariota. At least that was the second time they played where the Chargers eventually won that game. But Derek Carr, he was the first team and really the only team to beat the Chiefs last year, except for the Chargers at the end of the year when the Chiefs didn't play their starters. Derek Carr has a knack for winning big divisional games, and I think this will be one that he takes with the Raiders.
Sounds good.
So that puts 6-2 the Chargers right now, going into a game against the Browns at SoFi.
I have the Chargers losing this one. I know that's surprising, and really I think the quarterback matchup goes in the favor of the Chargers and Justin Herbert, but just all around, like I said, I'm really judging off what this team has right now, and I don't think the Browns have a flaw. Best backfield, best offensive line, great receiving core with a healthy OBJ, stacked secondary now with John Johnson and Troy Hill, guys that the Chargers wanted, and the pass rush is going to get better with Malik Jackson, Myles Garrett, and Sheldon Richardson. I like the Browns a lot this year. I'm not saying the Chargers can't, beat them in the playoffs, but right now I think the Browns are just such a controllable team with a coach of the year and a Chargers coach that we don't know what he is yet.
Yeah, I do think right about this time or midway through the season, I think Baker will, just like last year, be into his more mature, efficient play style. If he's not like that all year, I think Baker has a great year next year. And I think the Browns win this game. They run the ball really, really well. I think they'll do that well, and I think Baker will make a few key throws, not be a superstar, but they'll come out on top over the Chargers. I think it'll be a close game, but I do have the Chargers losing their third game against the Browns, just like you do. Pittsburgh Steelers at SoFi, at home.
This is a really tough one. I have to see how Big Ben does, and I have to see if the Steelers will address the run game. However, both of those things I can't determine today, but a top 5 defense is scary against a young quarterback. TJ Watt is going to be scary. You also got Devin Bush, you got Minka Fitzpatrick, and you got Joe Hayden. Where's it at?
SoFi, at home.
Ooh, all right. For some reason, sorry guys, I just have a hunch. I think Big Ben steals a game against a young quarterback in Justin Herbert.
I think that Big Ben, his run is over. Great, I'm a big fan. He's Hall of Famer, whatever, but he's not going to be his good enough true self this year. I think that defense won't be enough. I think the Chargers come out on top of this one over the Steelers at home to get their 7th win.
Yeah, for that one, I'm kind of just avoiding logic, and for some reason I have a weird feeling about it.
Yeah, you do like Big Ben more than I do. Dallas Cowboys at SoFi.
I got to go with the Chargers on this one. Dak Prescott, I think they're overpaying him. He's taking 20% of the salary cap. Amari Cooper is dropping off. CeeDee Lamb, I think he has talent. Ezekiel Elliott, not the same guy he was in his first 2 years. And the defense, you're paying a lot of money for Jalen Smith and DeMarcus Lawrence, and they are not doing a lot of work. I don't see the Cowboys stealing a win from this stacked, solid Chargers team. I'm not going to say they're stacked, but I got the Chargers.
Yeah, at SoFi, that's a big factor. But at this point in my head, the Chargers are 7-3. They're headed to the playoffs. Dak does not play well against winning teams or playoff teams, either one of them. So I'm going to take the Chargers by 10 points. I don't think that the Cowboys can keep up with them. So that puts them again 7-3. After that game, they'd be 7-3. New York Giants at SoFi.
I'm gonna go with Justin Herbert in the Chargers all around. This is kind of like a Drew Lock situation. The Giants have a good receiving core. The Giants have a good secondary, just like the Broncos did But at that quarterback position, I don't have faith in Daniel Jones. I think he will progress this year, but I don't think he could go toe-to-toe with a top 10 quarterback in Justin Herbert.
Said it right. Giants should be decent this year. Healthy Saquon. Daniel Jones, a lot of people say he'll actually get better in his third year in the league, but not going to be enough. Chargers coming out on top again.
Good.
Next game, another home game against the New England Patriots.
I have the Chargers losing this game. They lost last year 45-0, and yes, the Chargers will be much better this year, and I don't expect them to not be able to put up a single point, but the Patriots improved just as much as the Chargers, and still, I'm going to bring it down to the coaching factor. Bill Belichick, greatest coach of all time, arguably. And Brandon Staley, I think will be a click for the Chargers, but I think he's going to be able to outcoach them. And I know I can't really base everything off history, but that blowout really affects me. And I do think this will be a different game. And I think it'll even be a tight game. But I got the Patriots with their new improved team by an edging out due to coaching.
Yeah, last year at SoFi, Patriots beat them 45-0. Patriots got way better over the offseason, or at least should have. Chargers did too. But again, I think the Patriots, I think Cam has a better year. Of course, he won that game last year with 80-something passing yards. 60-something passing yards. So
he did run the ball, but still.
It doesn't take a great game from Cam, but I think he'll have a better season, and I think the Patriots take this one by a commanding 10 points.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Next game, Raiders at Las Vegas.
Still got them winning. I like the Chargers. I think they're going 5-1 in their own division, sweeping the Raiders and Broncos for the same reasons I mentioned earlier, but they will steal one game from the Kansas City Chiefs.
So Derek Carr doesn't have it in him to sweep the Chargers. I think he plays this game close. So it's going to be a close game, but Chargers come out on top in their second matchup against the Raiders. Let's see. Next game, we've got the Philadelphia Eagles at Philadelphia.
Justin Herbert, I think Jalen Hurts will be an improvement. I do think he could be the future of the Eagles. I think very highly of Jalen Hurts, but just outside of Hurts, the offensive line isn't great. I do not have any faith in their head coach. If you guys saw that interview of him just blabbing around and not seeming educated one bit, I believe his name is Nick Sirianni, if I'm not mistaken. I don't trust that. The receiving core is weak. They lost Deshaun Jackson. They lost Alshon Jeffrey. Zach Ertz doesn't seem to want to play there. And the defense, it has pieces in Fletcher Cox and Darius Slay, but they even lost a good corner in Jalen Mills to the Patriots.
Correct.
I just think outside of Jalen Hurts, you have nothing. I'm going to go with the Chargers, a well-rounded team.
Yeah, again, you said it just the way I would have said it. Jalen Hurts, I like him a lot, but this Eagles team does not have enough pieces to beat good teams, and the Chargers right now sitting at a good team. So I'm thinking the Chargers come out on this one, or on top of this one pretty easily. The last game, or the 16th game of the year, Washington football team at Washington.
Same exact thing as I see from the Steelers. A veteran quarterback that is a big variable. We don't know what we're going to get out of him, but with a top 5 defense, I mean, the Washington football team might have a top 3 defense. It's really arguable, but them making some big moves, such as signing William Jackson from the Bengals, one of the top corners in the league, that is going to step up their game tremendously. They already had a good defense, and you know how good Chase Young is, and Washington is not done. They still have a pretty good pick at 15. I think they'll draft an extra defensive player, and this team will go to the next level. Curtis Samuel, not saying they're a Super Bowl threat. I do think the Chargers will go further in the playoffs than Washington. For this game, it's just some weird hunch like I do with the Steelers. I think the defense is going to be a little overwhelming for this new Chargers team.
Yeah, I think that Washington defense will prevail here. We saw the football team steal a game from the 10-0 or 11-0 Steelers last year. I'm not sure which one it was, but it was the Steelers' first loss. And I think that that just proves that they can win a low-scoring game. Correct me if I'm wrong. It was like a 19-17 2017 win. Yeah. So the football team is not going to come out and score 35 points, but I think they can win a 2017 game over the Chargers. And that is, Jay, what do you think? They're voting on a 17th game. That's possible.
Yeah, there's debate whether or not there will be a 17th game. If there is, guys, sorry, but there's no official schedule. There's no official voting, so don't cry about us not doing the 17th game. There's just nothing official yet to judge it now.
So, after looking at the schedule, my prediction, Chargers going 11-5. What do you got?
I got 11-5, but to note, those 5 teams that they lose to is Washington, Patriots, Steelers, Browns, and everything I said about those teams have stacked defenses. Not that Justin Herbert can't handle a stacked defense, but a new offensive line is going to be struggling against pass rush. I'm not saying the chemistry can't build eventually, but a new team of offensive linemen and a new head coach to lead them, I think it'll be tough against some of the best pass rushes and best defenses in the NFL. And then, of course, the Chiefs. They're just the Chiefs.
Right. Again, the only team I have them losing by in a shootout fashion is the Chiefs. I think they can outscore anybody else. But those strong defenses, like you said, I guess I do have them being outscored by the Raiders because Derek Carr tends to do that. But Pittsburgh, you haven't losing to. I haven't losing to Washington. So does he. So I think defenses can take down this team. But again, I got 11-5, and so does he. And tell us in the comments what you think the Chargers will finish with record-wise. But that's all for the video, guys. Thanks for watching. 2-Minute Warning.